Hey everyone, SW Nation here, and welcome back to a brand new Ninjago video here on the channel. I'd like to stop and take the time to rank all Ninjago seasons, ranked from worst to best. Please know that everything that I will say in this video is just my very own opinion. My list is certainly not the right list, it is just my list, and you are free to comment down below your ranking of all Ninjago seasons ranked. Without further ado, let's get into the ranking. Kicking off my list at number 16, we have Day of the Departed. Now, Day of the Departed is actually hated by a lot of fans of Ninjago, mainly because Cole was actually cheated out of his own season. I felt like this should have been its own season, stretched out at least 10 episodes, so that way we can have all of the villains coming back, and it has a lot of payoff to it, and also they have a little bit of moments in there as well, but instead they just pushed this into a special, and it is kind of crammed and kind of rushed to me, but I do not hate it as much as other Ninjago fans do. Coming in at number 15 has got to go to Season 11, The Secrets of the Forbidden Spinjitzu, the Fire Chapter. Now, I think the Fire Chapter is actually one of the most rewatchable seasons in all of Ninjago, mainly because of the animation. It's fun, it's vibrant, and I love the orange and the red colors in this. And also, they treat Wu as a real person. He does make mistakes, and he's not all perfect. And they actually showcase that here. Kai losing his powers actually shows a little bit more character development for him, but it makes no sense why he would snap on Sensei Wu. That makes no sense. And the season itself is just the worst of the two-parters because of the side stories. They don't really contribute to the main stories as much, and the villain was very trash. At number 14, we have Secrets of the Forbidden Spinjitzu, the Ice Chapter, Season 11. The Ice Chapter is better than the Fire Chapter, only because we are in this new realm, the Never Realm, and it's a pretty cool place. Pun intended. I like the fact that we're in a new realm and we're out of Ninjago City. This is something that we haven't seen before, and they actually explore new ideas such as the Ice Emperor and the little community that they have here in the Never Realm. Come on. Everyone knew that Zane was going to become the Ice Emperor, but I kind of like the way they did it a little bit. I didn't like the reveal because obviously we knew, but I just liked the way that they had this little mysterious figure pulling the strings all behind the scenes, and then we also have this new character that can shapeshift into animals. Like, that's pretty cool, and it also carries that same character development for Kai all the way into this season while also capitalizing on Zane. At number 13, we have Season 10, March of the Oni. Okay, now this is the worst of the Sons of Garmadon trilogy. I kind of like it a little bit more, mainly because of the animation. It kind of concludes Ninjago Masters of Spinjitzu and kind of paves the way for the new series Ninjago. And really, it doesn't have a satisfying ending with the battle. It has a satisfying ending with the characters. With Jay and Nia kind of getting married, everyone are still together. Everyone is actually becoming more of a family than they already have because they've all grown and have mastered their powers. So that's pretty cool, and I think that this season itself just should have been longer. It should have been longer. They hyped up the Oni so big, like they wanted the Oni to be the biggest battle they ever seen, and then they could just defeat them with the golden weapons. Okay, like it was like one episode they was having a battle. Like throughout the entire all three episodes, they showed like this big cloud of darkness just sucking in Ninjago. If we would have seen death, like if we would have seen people die, and if Cole would have died, that would have made consequences for this season, but they didn't want to do that, and that's why it's at number 13 for me. Coming in at number 12, we have the pilots. The pilots are actually pretty good. I mean, I rewatch them every now and then, mainly because I just want to see how far we've come as fans. And it's just so iconic and so nostalgic to see them going on a journey to find all the 4 golden weapons, getting their dragons, fighting the skeleton army, fighting Garmadon for the first time, creating a tornado of creation. It's just a lot of fun seeing all of these characters with different ideologies clash together. At number 11, we have Season 1, Rise of the Snakes. Rise of the Snakes is very iconic for me because this is where I started watching the series. Yes, I did see the pilots when they came out, but I wasn't really into it at that point until season 1 when I saw all these snakes, and like the golden weapons are still glowing, so they're just so iconic. It's so nostalgic for me watching this season because this is what I remember Ninjago being. This is what I signed up for. I signed up for a ninja show. I wanted to see them trying to train and learn their different Spinjitzu moves, and I wanted to see them use their golden weapons to their fullest potential, try to find out their true potential, and find out who the Green Ninja is. This season is so iconic for me, and it has to come in at number 11, mainly because I just like other seasons more, but this season is very enjoyable. Kicking off my top 10 list has got to go to Season 7, Hands of Time. Hands of Time is a very fascinating season for me, mainly because of the animation. The animation style looks like it has dropped, mainly from Season 6 to Season 7, but it got right back up there in Season 8. But it felt like their budget was a little bit lower in this season because sometimes the ninja looks very glossy, very nice, very polished in one scene, and then in the next scene they look very dull and botchy. It's kind of a weird thing, but I do love the city though. The Vermilion Warriors, not the best army, but I do love the city. The orange and the blues, they kind of clash together just a little bit better. But Nia and Kai finding their parents got debunked in the next season, so that's not really a good thing. And the Time Twins are also pretty awesome. I like the fact that this is the time where we actually see the team work more as a team and a family, with them rushing to battles. Like, they're actually racing to battles, who's going to get there first. But if it wasn't for the story problems, this would be higher on my list. At number 9, we have Season 12, Prime Empire. Prime Empire is actually a step up from the Ice chapter and the Fire chapter. A nice little season for Jay. Again, we also capitalize more on his character and his relationship with Nia, while also bringing him inside of this video game world, where the video games actually has consequences. The ninja actually die in this season, and really it's kind of heartbreaking to see them die, but at the same time you know that they're going to be brought back because we still have another season after this. But at the same time though, this video game world actually has consequences, and if this was actually real, these characters would be dead in real life and in the video game. I also love the villain. The villain is also very sympathetic, and like I said before, a nice little season for Jay, capitalizing more on him and his relationship with Nia, and they actually kind of grow throughout this season. But I can't really see myself rewatching this, not like how I would rewatch the pilots or Season 7 Hands of Time or Season 8 or Day of the Departed or even the Fire chapter. Though I do love this season is amazing and it is very enjoyable, I just wouldn't rewatch this. At number 8, we have Season 6, Skybound. Now, just like Season 7, it seemed like the budget was just a little bit lower on this one from Season 5, and it shows. I mean, I can see it. I can see the way that their hands move. You can see kind of the little after effect there. It's just a lot of things wrong with this season that I really don't like, mainly because of Nia. Nia nags too much. She kind of acts like Season 4 Arrow Felicity, and I really don't like it. I honestly don't like it. I get it. You're a girl ninja. You're kind of a feminist. You know, you want to have women rights for everyone, but at the same time, come on, you just got on the team last season. You wasn't even thinking about joining their team. You were doing your own thing, but now since you're a ninja, you want to kind of push this agenda. Come on, man. That just kind of ruined the season for me. But a nice little season for Jay. And by the end of the season, him and Nia kind of get back together, and it kind of builds more on their relationship. Oh yeah, don't forget about Nadekana Jin. Top 10 villains. At number 7 for me has got to go to Master of the Mountain Season 13. Now, this is the season Cole needed. I did do a review on my channel. You can check that out up above. And I think the reason why I kind of gave this season a more positive review is that it's the best season out of the post-March of the Oni seasons. There is a lot of problems with here, especially Wu's character arc. His character arc about him having a midlife crisis, not being able to help the team enough. Why are you just now thinking about this? That just warps my mind. Why is he thinking about this now? I kind of wish that his mom was the villain, because they only showed just his mom in flashbacks. I kind of really didn't like that, but I like the fact that they capitalized more on Cole's character and his relationship to his mother. And also, I just felt like, yeah, like I said before, I wish his mom would have been the villain, because the villain was very underwhelming. his costume looked very great. From the trailers, he looked very cool. He had like a skull on his hand, like he could just fly the skull wherever he wants to. But then it just got bad. So all in all, the animation is great. Everything about the season is okay. Just the villain is very underwhelming, and Wu's character arc is bad. At number 6, we have Season 3 Rebooted. Nice little season for Zane. I wish there was more episodes. There were only 8, and they were actually split up into 2 episode parts all around the year. Like, there was one in February, and then April, and then July, and then November. Like, they were actually spaced out that much, and I kind of wish that they could have done it better. I kind of wish they just would have gave us more episodes. But I get it. You can't stretch the storyline out because of the Overlord coming back in digital form. You can't stretch that out 10 episodes. It can only go so long. It can only go so far. But this season is very great. Nice season for Zane. Gave him a lot of character arc. And guess what? Spoiler alert. He dies at the end. So that was very emotional for me when I first saw it. And it's still emotional to this day. Before I get into my top 5, I'd like to take the time to say that if you are a fan of Ninjago, which you probably are, that's why you're watching this video. Click that playlist up above for everything Ninjago related that I have on my channel. Also, if you are a fan of the MCU, I am doing an MCU rewatch on my podcast. It's called The Regular Podcast, and that link is always in the description and in the comment section, and we will be uploading Guardians of the Galaxy on Monday. Without further ado, let's get into my top 5. Kicking off my top 5 list has got to go to Season 9 Hunted. Now, Season 9 actually has 2 storylines going on with the Resistance on Ninjago City, and we also have the 4 original ninja with Little Wu growing up to become Master Wu, and they kind of balance these storylines together perfectly well. Not kinda, they actually do, and it's amazing. It's amazing stuff seeing them, and also this little finale that they had with Lloyd getting his powers back is just so awesome. Such a crowd pleaser because we actually see him struggle. We actually see him come to terms with him not having his powers anymore since season 2. Just seeing him struggle with not having his powers anymore just makes the season a whole lot better. And then seeing the other ninja on the realm of owning a dragon being hunted by dragon hunters, which dragon hunters are a cool name and is a cool idea, it was just not executed. It was just not executed greatly here, and the Iron Baron is not at all a great villain. But the dragons are pretty cool, and Master Wu growing up is just amazing stuff, and this season is very nice. At number 4, we have The Green Ninja Season 2. Season 2 has a bunch of filler in it, but don't get me wrong, the filler episodes are actually enjoyable. But it's not until we get to the Island of Darkness where that's when the season really starts kicking in. I mean, we have the Voyage, the Voyage and then the Stone Army coming in. But yeah, those are basically kind of like trying to get you ready for the Island of Darkness. But once they have on those kimono suits, we're going straight into the final battle. This is no longer the Green Ninja anymore. This is finally, we're at the final battle, and it is amazing stuff. This is one of the best battles that I've ever seen in Ninjago history, and I was glad to actually be alive to see it, because this season, besides all the filler, come on, this season probably would have been in number 1 for me, or at least in number 2, or maybe number 3, but I think this season is pretty good. Kicking off my top 3 list, we have Season 5 Possession. Now, Moro is actually the best villain inside of all the Ninjago, and nobody can change my mind. They actually uses Lloyd's possession to actually bring up Kai's character development, which actually kind of makes me mad at Season 8, because Kai didn't put his hand on Lloyd's foot first, and Kai is very devoted to saving Lloyd's life in this season, and that's what kind of made me love his character just a little bit more. And also, Cole turns into a ghost in this season, so that doesn't mean that this season doesn't have consequences. No, this season has consequences, and if Cole gets sprayed by water, he will die. And it just makes for a lot of themes, very thematic, very cinematic stuff. And all in all, this season is just a great season. Our runner-up at number 2 has got to go to Tournament of Elements Season 4. Now, in any of my other lists, I would have Season 4 at number 1. But come on, I have to put it at number 2. That does not mean that this season is not perfect. It does not mean that this season is not an S tier. It just means that I like my number 1 a little bit more, and I enjoyed my number 1 a little bit more. Tournament of Elements does something great, is that they actually bring in these new elemental abilities, these new elemental fighters, and put them all in an underground fight club. And one of the things that I love about that is I just love Contest of the Champions from Marvel. I love the fact that they actually do a contest to see who's like the strongest, and then we just see them duking it out with their powers, and it's just amazing stuff. We actually get to see more of what Ninjago has to offer, and we're exploring this world a lot. And the villain, he's okay, he's nice. I just like my number one a little bit more. But coming into my number one has got to go to Sons of Garmadon. No other season has the heart, has the animation, has the emotion, has the drama, has the comedy, has the action built in to it. In my opinion, I think Sons of Garmadon is better because we've seen the snakes, we've seen the armies, we've seen the robots, we've seen the pirates. Now they have to go up against a biker gang. We also have a king and a queen and their princess we've never seen before, which actually makes it seem like a big Chinatown type of city. And we also get to see more of New Ninjago City, which is beautiful, by the way. This is the best of the Sons of Garmadon trilogy, and it actually shows because of how deep in themes there is. And this season actually shows that the ninja are just like a family, and they do have drama, and they do have heart within the team, and they also bounce off of each other very well in comedic ways. This season has it all. It has the drama, it has the art, it has the action set pieces, it has the action in general, it has the cinematography, it has the animation, it has the color grading, it has the comedy, and you mix all of that together and you get the perfect Ninjago season, in my opinion. So Ninjago Season 8 has to come in at number 1. Alright guys, that was it for my ranking. Please know that everything that I said in this video was just my very own opinion. My list was certainly not the right list. It was just my list, and you are free to comment down below your ranking of all 16 Ninjago seasons ranked from worst to best, just like me, or you could just do your favorite. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.